Are the Black Templars breaking Imperial law or preserving the Emperor's will? Let's examine the evidence, not the rumors. The accusations are well known. They reject librarians. They wage war without end. Their zeal rivals the ecclesiarchy itself. But the answer is not simple, because in Warhammer 40k, law is not only the Codex Astartes. Law is also the decrees of the High Lords, the judgments of Imperial institutions, and the unspoken rules that ensure survival. We will test 3 claims against the canon and reach a verdict. Before we begin, if you value Warhammer 40k explained with sources, not speculation, consider subscribing. It helps us bring more of these doctrinal debates to you. Claim 1. The Black Templars are unlawful because they refuse librarians. Yes, they refuse librarians. This is in their Codex supplement. The Black Templars swear vows. They reject witchcraft, and they ban psychers from their chapter ranks. But does this refusal violate Imperial law? No. Librarians are common in many chapters, but they are not a legal requirement. Different structures exist across the Adeptus Astartes. Divergence is not the same as heresy. The Templars still rely on sanctioned Imperial psychers, navigators to travel the warp, astropaths to carry their words across the stars. They refuse Astartes librarians, not the psychers of the Imperium itself. Mini-verdict. They diverge from the Codex, but they do not break Imperial law. Claim 2. They violate the Codex Astartes, therefore they are unlawful. We must separate discipline from statute. The Codex Astartes is the dominant doctrine, but it is not Imperial law. The Black Templars diverge openly, Crusader squads that mix veterans and recruits. The Emperor's champion chosen through vision, chaplains at the forefront, vows that shape their entire style of war. All of this is canon. But divergence is tolerated when loyalty is proven. What brings punishment is rebellion, seizing territory, defying Terra, or turning from the throne. The Templars do none of these. They crusade under the Aquila. Some argue they ignore the 1,000 marine limit, but their numbers are impossible to audit. They are fleet-based, scattered across many crusades, always fighting, always recruiting. There is no clear record of censure from the High Lords. When Terra believes you are a threat, it acts. See the Badab War. The Black Templars are not treated as rebels. They are given codexes, banners, and recognition. That is sanction, not condemnation. Mini-verdict. They bend the codex, but they remain lawful. They do not only follow vows, they embody tradition under fire. Consider the Hell's Reach Crusade. Chaplain Grimaldus, newly raised to Reclusiarch. 100 Black Templars, defending Hive Hell's Reach against a horde without number. Their odds were hopeless, yet they stood until the walls fell around them. That is not rebellion. That is obedience turned into sacrifice. Now look at their vows today. In the modern codex, Templar vows are binding once more. Each vow is a battlefield promise made in the Emperor's sight, not a convenience, a spiritual obligation. And the Emperor's champion leads them in this. He bears relics, the black sword, the armor of faith. Before battle, he calls the crusade to renew their vow. It is ritual, it is duty, it is written into their way of war. These practices show something important. When the Templars diverge from the Codex, it is not lawless improvisation. It is loyalty expressed through oaths and relics. It is structure built on faith. Claim 3. Their devotion makes them soldiers of the ecclesiarchy, which would violate the decree passive. The decree passive forbids the ecclesiarchy from keeping men under arms. That is why the Adepta Sororitas exist in their distinct form. But the Black Templars are not the ecclesiarchy. They are Adeptus Astartes, commanded by a high marshal, bound to the Adeptus Terra. They are fervent. They fight alongside priests. They march beneath relics. But they are not the military of the Church. They are warriors of Dorn's bloodline. Mini-verdict. They do not violate the decree passive. They are loyal Astartes, not ecclesiarchal troops. So what happens when zeal meets imperial command? Consider Armageddon, High Marshal Helbrecht, Chaplain Grimaldus, the defense of Hell's Reach. They pressed their vows. They argued fiercely. But when the orders came, they obeyed. They fought. They held the line for the Imperium. That is the true test of lawfulness. Disobedience leads to censure and penitent crusades. Loyalty brings recognition and honors. The Black Templars have the latter. Now consider the institutions that appear unusual, but are accepted. 1. The Emperor's Champion, a vision before battle, a chosen knight with the black sword. Canon acknowledges the role. The Imperium sanctions what proves effective. 2. Vows uphold the honor of the Emperor. Accept any challenge. They direct battlefield behavior. But vows do not overrule Imperial command. They exist within it. 3. Fleet-based crusades. Instead of 10 companies on a homeworld, dozens of crusades across the stars, each with its own fortress, each with its own recruits. It appears untidy, but it is lawful. It is acknowledged as part of their charter. Can a marshal overreach? Yes. Do imperial clerks fear their zeal? Of course. But the test is this. Do they obey Terra when it matters most? The answer, time and again, is yes. Verdict. Do the Black Templars break imperial law? No. They break the mold, and in doing so they preserve the spirit of imperial law, protecting humanity, holding the line, pledging themselves to the Emperor's cause. The Black Templars are lawful, not orderly, not restrained, but lawful. In the Imperium, order is less important than survival, and survival is what the Black Templars deliver. Next up, watch Exterminatus Authority. Who can order it, and what if Astartes refuse?